Hi from Helen's Harvest. Here is a new journal called God's Garden. It is my 10th journal. It closes with a piece of rayon ribbon which I dyed, and it features a cute little garland of different wildflowers that are blooming, that were blooming on our land. They're at the ends now. And the cover is a beautiful hand-dyed purple fabric covering cardboard. It is Mickey Lawler's SkyDyes fabric. And it is embellished with lace, which I dyed pink and purple and natural. And this garland has 13 Lampwork beads that are copper wired onto a little vignette with green satin lace, which tie onto the riveted holes as usual. And here is a close-up of that little vignette. I made two, a larger one and a smaller one, and this is the smaller one because it's a small journal. I guess it's 4.5 by 6 by 2 inches thick. So let's look at it. This is a copy of a painting which I created for this, a sketch which I created for this journal. And it has, let me see how many, I think maybe 11 different wildflowers which grow on our land. And we had a particularly beautiful year this year because we had a freeze last year, which is a killing frost, which is very, very rare for us. And anyway, so that's, I think, why we had such beautiful wildflowers this year. That's my theory, anyway. For this journal, I created some eco-printed paper, which I have never done before. I saw it on YouTube, a lot of people doing it, and I did it with an iron and pressing some different wildflowers, and pink equals green and blue equals orange, and it's an odd thing when you're doing it. But I did also nature print with some leaves. I think this might be beautyberry leaf or bay. It could be bay. I have that grows out there too. And so I enhanced them with pretty colors because the colors of the journal are fuchsia, purple, and yellow, and several greens. And so that was the inspiration for the paper. Or the paper was the inspiration for it, maybe. There are 10 separate watercolor cards. This is an ageratum. And they're also painted with watercolor and sketch and coffee, because there's coffee dyed. I put used coffee on the echo paper too. And here's a little cute little pocket. Let me see how many. There are 40 pages and there are 30 pockets in this little nature journal. And lots of color and lots of pretty things. And this is an old hymnal that I added to this one, as well as the Italian script and ledger that I have copied and used. The pages are edged in black, sun with black, and there it's just beautiful. This is a belly band. This is a belly band. Here's another. This is goldenrod. This is a goldenrod sketch. Love it. It lasted a very long time this year, probably 2 months. Here is a piece of this is a copy, not an original. I mean, it's my original, but it's a fake foxglove, or faux foxglove, or false foxglove. They call it all three. And there are different kinds of paper in here. Tissue paper, which I painted, and invoice paper, and this is ledger paper, just a little note where you can fold down and write, and a little piece of ribbon on that. And here is a pocket made out of a copy of a coreopsis, or tickseed. I like tickseed. It's so descriptive, like you better stay away. Here's a print of the eco pressing with iron, which I cut out. It's an oak leaf. and sewed around with some pearl cotton. And there's a couple little beads on here. Oh, by the way, there is a lot of beads on these. This is also the middle of the first signature. There are 3. And the matching beads, which I made. And there are 2 of these beautiful lavender florals. And the rest are seed beads, which match the front cover necklace. And here's some more of that beautiful purple of Nikki's. And under it, if this is a fabric pup, is a eco-dyed tablet sewn at the top with gauze that I, or scrim that I dyed years ago. And here is a Black-Eyed Susan. That's the imprint that it made. And see the green? See, the orange makes green. That's so odd. Anyway, here's a nice little page, and here's a nice little piece of tissue paper, and which I painted. And here's a little lace flap, and this is an original of the Beauty Berries. Nope, not an original. The originals are coffee stained on the back. This is just a journal card, so you can write on the back. These Beauty Berries are very beautiful this year. They're in the front of our land when you pull in the driveway. And here's the other side of the lace flap, and here's a belly band with a false foxglove. This is the original sketch. Those were in our front yard this year. Here is a little pocket, which is goldenrod. Here's more of that hymnal, and more and more. And here's a lady, and she's thinking about the words. Also Italian. And here's another pocket, and another pocket, and just beautiful colors throughout. Here is the original watercolor of the all of the flowers, and I Mod Podged it to keep it from running. And this is the original, and it goes in this little belly band right here, which is made of tracing paper, which I dyed with coffee, and it has a little woven piece of ribbon that I dyed. And here's a little crochet chain, just for accent, because I love that fuchsia pearl cotton. And here is the Tick Seed original sketch with another eco-dyed and other papers in this little tablet for your writing pleasure. Here is another little flip flap of the paper because I didn't want to waste it. It's precious. And an upper pocket with some beautiful purple fabric. Here's some purple lace I dyed, which is another little pocket, and some tissue paper, and some lace, a little lace medallion flap. And a little, this is a card. The cards are copies. The originals are in here too. There are, I think, 13 originals and 13 copies. Or a dozen, something like that. And here is another, this is called Aster. And it is, this grows by our pond. Actually, it's still growing everywhere. There's a little pocket for it. And here's another little pocket. And here is a little double pocket with some paper on it, some tissue paper which I painted. And here is a ageratum. It's a beautiful, sort of a bluish purple, and it's still blooming also. And that's just a little note card, or journal card. And here is pin stem, and this grows at our pond too. And we only had one little place that I saw it growing, but it was enough to spark my interest, enough to paint. And this does not grow on our land. It's an obedient plant, or I haven't seen it. Anyway, my husband found this in a field north of our land, and he picked me a huge bouquet one day, and so I just had to paint it to thank him. And that is obedient plant. And this is a plain page. Let's have a rest. And this is an obedient plant pocket and an original of the goldenrod, which is in our front yard. It's all around also. And see how the impression of that black-eyed Susan? Isn't that pretty? And here's another one right here. This is a Wildflower annual journal. Here's an obedient plant card in a pocket. And the rest of ledger. Here's a little ruffle that I made out of that tissue paper. That was really fun. It felt very old-fashioned and memorable, like a Victorian card. That's a pocket. Here's a pocket. Here's a double pocket with a little note for you to write on and a little original pen stemmen. This is the pen stemmen original sketch. Here's some gauze that I dyed. I used to be an art quilter, so I have lots and lots of fabric and hand dyes that I love. And here is the beauty berries. And this is also an original sketch with more of that tissue. That's a different texture and it makes noise. I love it. And this is a pocket that goes all the way across of a gold that I dyed. And here's more of that beautiful paper. Can't hardly stand to cover it up. And pockets, inked. The edges are inked. And here's more asters. And here is the original, nope, this is a copy of the original aster sketch, which fits in there. And I found these cute little daisies, and so they're fabric. And I glued and sewed them on throughout as accents. And here's a little bow for texture. And here is a flip up and a little receipt. It's blank. You can write on it whatever you want. And here is another copy of the Wildflower collection, the whole collection. This is my 10th journal, and there's my signature, and there are 3 other signatures, the kind which are a collection of paper, a collection of like a chapter. A signature is like a chapter, and there are 3 in this. And that is the end of this journal. Thank you.